Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome again to Level Up. I'm your host, Everton, along with my co-host, Coach
Oliver.
Oliver. Welcome again today, sir. And today we have a special show for you. We're going to continue the conversation on fatherhood and mentorship. But tonight, I have my daughter here with me tonight. So my daughter and my son, and we're going to continue the conversation with myself and Coach Oliver on fatherhood and mentorship. Coach, before we start, tell us what you do and why you do what you do. Go ahead.
Wow. I was about to talk about how excited I am, but I'm a parenting coach. And the reason why I become a parenting coach, because I didn't know I was going to be a parenting coach, is through my experiences. And there's three things I want. I wanted to be a better dad. I wanted to be a better husband. And I want to be a better person overall. So, and obviously we all wanted to be better at some point, but I was obsessed of those things. That there's a lot in between, but that's the real reason why I became a parenting coach. And, I'm very excited because I've never been in a situation where I'm on a panel discussion with a dad, daughter, and son, and as a parenting coach, for me, I'm more learning from this, and as well, it's like almost a case study. Yes, it's going to open my eyes to many things because obviously I'll be giving my tips and I'm going to ask you a few questions. But I've been through a lot. I was talking about earlier in terms of just being overwhelmed with a lot of teenager issues, right? So, anyways, I'll get more into that. But
And to your
yeah.
point, the reason why I'm here tonight is because I want to be intentional. I want to be a better father to my daughter and to my son, and I'm willing to be open, to be vulnerable, to learn. It's not easy, but I'm open to it. So
Correct.
guys, bear with me, and I hope you enjoy the show tonight, and stay tuned, and I hope you learn something tonight from this episode. Coach, it's in your hand. Go ahead, sir.
Sure. So, question right off the bat. You have a young lady and a young man.
Yes.
Do you feel like you're parenting them differently?
Absolutely, I do.
Is that intentional or just automatic?
Each child pulls something from me differently.
Ooh.
It's yeah. My son have a different need, and he pulls according to his needs. And my daughter have a different need, and she pull according to her needs. So I find that they each pull differently based on what their needs are.
And is that conflicting or how do you know that's what their needs are?
It's how I feel inside. So it's a feeling. So my son and I, because he plays sports, so it's a different relationship because I can relate to that with him a little bit more. My daughter, I find that she's more conversational or she's more thoughtful, and it will cause me to be more mindful of my words and even disciplining my child. I would discipline my daughter different than my son. And I know it's like instinct kicks in, and I'm more mindful the words I would say to her. I'm more mindful my approach to her. I'm more gentler, if you know what I'm saying.
We're going to dig into that a little bit more because that's fascinating. I'm going to dig into that a little bit more. So, young lady, what's your name, first of all?
My name is Avea.
Avera?
Avea.
Avea. Okay, I love it. Love it. At what point do you feel most connected to your dad?
I guess I feel most connected to my dad when we have conversations, especially just in the car or when through music, because I get like kind of my music taste from my dad when it comes to just like old school music. So I find we connect through those ways. We connect through when I feel like I have like a problem or I'm just kind of confused or I just want some guidance. I find he really gives good advice in that it's very level-headed and it's always kind of always like a surrounding of just elevating myself and making sure I have a good future.
So has that always be? Has that changed when you're as opposed to when you're younger?
I think it's changed, not necessarily bad, but more gearing towards how I'm becoming older, leaning into my adulthood compared to when I was younger. Those conversations were geared towards just my situation then, but now I feel like those conversations are gearing towards my adulthood and my future. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but I believe it's helped me more.
Yeah. Are you a daddy's girl?
Yes, definitely.
Definitely.
Last time you were here, I asked you, what's one word? So, I know you asked that. What's one word you will use, one word
Okay.
you'll use to describe your dad, other than God-fearing, because that's his word, right?
One thing I would use to describe my dad is he's a provider in many senses, but I would use that word because he provides not only financially for me, but just emotionally. I could just come to him just bawling out my problems, and he would just be there to listen, even if sometimes he doesn't respond. I just know he's listening. He's a provider in the sense that like I'm always like calling him for stuff, and he just gives it regardless. Like he's just a provider in that sense. He's always caring for my needs and my family's needs and stuff like that.
Got it. The reason why I open up with those questions is because I'm big on connection. I'm talking about emotional connection.
Yeah.
And connection is not only in a moment. Connection is in patterns,
Yeah.
right? So I'm always digging for patterns. Let me ask you a question. What's one thing that your dad doesn't do that makes you frustrated?
One thing he doesn't do.
First of all, can you say your name? Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, my name is Daniel. And one thing my dad doesn't do that makes me frustrated.
Yes. Usually I'll ask the question, what does he do? And the last time I think you said a few things.
I don't know to word it, but he doesn't like if there was like for example like a situation where he doesn't like just go for it if that makes sense. Like he would just really lay back and wait for days to come and not really like attack the situation if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like just way back until it goes on further on instead of like going for it, and that just like it frustrates me like I would say most of the time.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Is that new to you?
Sorry?
Is that new to you?
No, it's not new to me. I think he's looking for. I procrastinate in terms of getting. If I know I should do something, I would wait till the last minute to get it done. And he doesn't like that. My son, he rather me address it at the moment and not wait until last minute.
What caused you to procrastinate or delay? What can you say caused that?
I just think it's habits. I really think that it's just my work habit. I tend to function that way where I work. I think I do better under pressure. And if I think I have too much time to do something, I don't do it. And then sometimes I have too much pressure on me.
Yeah, you know why I can relate, Daniel? Because I'm the same way like you. Like it just drives me when I said, okay, like why are we waiting? But I get this a lot, where people or friends or my wife, they tend to do well under pressure, but at the same time, the reason why I'm trying to dig into that a little bit more, that kind of mindset and that kind of personality, that is, you get that from somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? That was gradually ingrained in you. So, that's kind of almost shaping your nervous system. That eventually, although Daniel doesn't like it, say for example, he'll be up and about 100% all the time. Eventually, over a period of time, if you're not mindful of it, it'll become 60, 70% on him in terms of his nervous system geared towards doing things, right? So, how about you in terms of what's one thing that your dad doesn't do that that gets you frustrated?
Um, I guess I would say, yes, the procrastination thing as well, but I also, I guess, just kind of connecting to me personally on like an emotional level. I feel like he does have that type of emotional intelligence, but I don't think it's kind of there to the expectation that I would like as a daughter. I have noticed it's gotten better, but I do feel like I wish that kind of emotional intelligence in terms of just connecting with me where I'm at, or just like understanding my feelings in a certain time, or just being able to just like understanding how I'm feeling just mentally, emotionally, being able to connect not as just like a parent, but like as a father caring to build that relationship with his daughter, even though we may not relate or have similar interests in life.
Yeah, and it's tough for us dads, because, I let you speak, but I'll say this for myself, in terms of we never taught many things, and a lot of things we inherit. And for me, having a daughter, and every age she gets, I am a new girl dad. Because at age 9, before she got her period, end of the month, I was a different dad. And by the time she 10, because she got her period at 10, I was a different girl dad. And I didn't know what to do. So, and that opened up a different kind of conversation in terms of, just being patient, understanding. So yes, emotional intelligence. Yes, you want us to understand. Yes, but at the same time, there's a way, and I talk about it a lot of times, where you guys are mentoring him indirectly because we are learning. And I talk about this all the time and previous shows in terms of you guys are here, my daughters and sons are here to bring out a better, to make me better, but to bring out certain characteristics out of us. So you make it better from a certain perspective. You make it better from a certain perspective. So we have to understand that patience is important, but at the same time, you here to mentor him as well. Anything to add?
And I'm glad she mentioned that because, and that's why we're here. We're here to learn and to grow and to find how we can connect with our sons and daughters. And as she mentioned that, I feel like sometimes, Coach, it's like I'm in the dark and the light is off and I'm reaching, trying to find the light switch to figure out how do I connect? Because I never had that model that taught me how to connect.
Right.
So here I am as a father. I have a daughter and a son, and they're demanding things of me that I never experienced before. I'm in the dark here trying to find the switch to turn this light on to figure, okay, open your eyes. And that's why I am willing to be intentional. To say, how can I learn new habits? Because from how we were raised, we didn't have these habits of how to connect with our parents. But now our children are demanding of us. It's okay to be a father and a mother, but they need more than that.
Correct.
And it's a journey, and we're here to learn on that journey.
Yes, and there's one tool or tip I can give you and other dads, and just before we have to be intentional about everything. Every time I wake up in the morning, I say to myself, I have to be intentional, and the first thing. Obviously, it's been 10 years. It's ingrained in me. When I'm approaching my daughter or my son for anything, first I'm thinking connection. How do I connect? Connect first. And connection is not a whole long process.
So wait, you're not thinking parenting, you're thinking connection.
Correct. Because remember, I'm not a parent. I was retired.
See, I'm thinking parenting.
Correct.
Because the first thing that happens, how do I parent?
I know. That's why I'm
That's
saying
the
that.
instinct.
Right. That's why I'm saying that. So just so you guys know, I'm not a parent. I'm a mentor. It's the same thing, but it's a change of words, right? Because I want to connect first. So, for example, say I walk in my daughter's room and she's late waking up, and I know she has to wake up a certain time, and I have to go in there. I knock on her door first. You don't barge in. That's another level of connection. And if she said, "Don't come in," hell no, I'm not going in.
Because I barge in yelling.
No, no, right. Hell no, I'm not going in. It happened before. I'm like, why would I go in? It's past, like, the bus is already gone. That's when she was in grade school. The bus is already gone. I'm not going in. I wait. Let me know when you can. You want me to come in? Okay, you can come in. Is everything okay? Tone of voice, everything like that. So basically what I'm trying to say is, if I call both my kids in a room, and whether I want to talk about vacation, going on vacation, or talking about something that they did very, very bad, the conversation, they can't tell when I call them. They don't know. Because my tone of my voice, the way I approach it, because their nervous system is feeding off mine. All day. It's innate. So why would I pass that on? Because my nervous system is out of whack. Right? I grew up on a farm. So it's out of whack. So like my oldest son, because I have 3 kids, my oldest son is 33. He got all of my nervous system. And his relationship is out of whack right now with his wife. You got it? So it took me a while to kind of learn and curate that. So this is the reason why I'm passing that on information. The first thing you do is, how do I connect first? It doesn't matter how pressing the situation is. How do I connect first?
I like that because we are so busy with everything that's going on around us. And in the business of things, we're trying to parent in the chaos. And we're missing the connection piece. I believe you have a question for us, Daniel. Do you want to bring that up?
Yes, I do. So,
Go ahead.
my question is, when did you first feel like a father, not just become one?
You need to repeat that so I can process that.
So, one more time. When did you first feel like a father, not just become one?
Okay. Well, the first day you were born, I would say that it was a feeling that I would never forget. And that moment, and when they present you, I felt that feeling, that proudness, that joy. I can't explain the feeling, but it's a feeling that it's one you can't explain. And it's in that moment I felt it. The responsibility, it changes because when you were younger as a baby, it was just being a father and just having fun and just making sure that you were just care for you the best way I could. As you got older and start turning into a teenage, so get 12, 13, 14, something shift. I felt a different responsibility of how I'm going to mentor you or be a father to you. Right? I had to switch from the parent when you were 5 or 6, and here you are becoming 14, 15. I sense that you were trying to find who you want to become in life or who you want to be for yourself, and I had to find a way how to step back and let you evolve into who you want to become and still be a father to you, if that makes sense.
Wow. I'm still processing that question. So the question is what?
When did you first feel like a father, but not just become one?
For me, like, as soon as my wife knew she was pregnant, it was instant for me. Because you know what? You know what I was doing? Every day, both my kids, not my first son, because I was a kid then. Every day I would sing. And she didn't want to jinx it because we didn't know if it was a boy or girl, so call it by name. I'll sing to the stomach. I'll come in and I'll just like sing the ABC, 1, 2, 3, teaching him or her to talk. So instantly, what you're talking about, my responsibility right there just shifted. Because, my oldest son, like, I was still in my 20s, so I didn't understand life yet. Later on, it's 17 years late, or when I was in my 30s, then everything, because remember, I was in a fast lane. So everything changed, slowed down. So more, I just took on this old responsibility. So right as soon as my wife, knew she was pregnant, yes, it really shifted. Everything shifted. I remember that moment. Everything shifted. You have a question for us?
I didn't prepare any questions.
That's okay.
But I guess off the top of my head, do you believe there's a gap between daughter-father relationships? Just because a lot of fathers either they never had a daughter before, so they're becoming like a girl dad for the first time and not knowing how to connect to their daughter. And how do you believe, or what ways you advise fathers to have better relationships with their daughters, not only just on the financial side, but building that emotional intelligence too?
Yeah, there's a big gap. And it was hard for me even now. I have to fight that gap. Because then, a son is a son. We can go outside, we can run around in the grass and flip and all that stuff. And he alluded to it earlier that he had to be more intentional, more cautious, more softer, or be more mindful around a daughter because it's just innate. So I would say stop and think and connect. Just simple stop and think and connect. Because at the end of the day, and that can feel more of a more of a gap for the daughter, because then what if she wants to go outside and run around too, right? Because now we can't really judge, right? So we have to be very, very mindful and understanding of not, because they're going to be treated different anyways, right?
Yes.
But
Culture,
not to be
right?
intentional treating differently.
Yeah, because culture as well, based on our culture too, we do treat our daughters differently based on our cultures.
Correct.
Right? We think to want to protect our daughter. Well, she can't do certain things, and when she's like, I can do it too. So I think that sometimes our culture do affect how we have
does.
a relationship with our
It does.
daughters. And we create biases
Correct.
and don't even know it. And then we can isolate our daughters, all right? And then one could feel, because when I was taking Daniel, my biggest fear was, with my son, we are always going to a basketball game. But my daughter, we didn't have that because she wasn't playing sports. So I invest a lot of time into my son. And I became very aware of it, and I felt guilty that I was spending so much time with him, and I wasn't giving her the time that she needed. And that really was hard for me.
Got it. Because you're into sports.
Become to sports.
Right. Guess what? I turned both of my kids into sports because I'm into sports, right? Let me ask you a question. How that felt? What did you just explain? What you just described?
Yes, I definitely felt like that growing up, where my dad kind of only had that kind of like bond or connection with my brothers because they related and we're just so similar on so much levels. And I just felt like I really couldn't come to my dad for a lot of things. Because I felt like he just wouldn't understand, or just didn't, really like had the knowledge of what I was going through. So I definitely like through like my high school years and like middle school years, I felt I heavily depended on my mom a lot just to guide me, because I felt like my dad just couldn't connect with me emotionally there. But I feel like as I'm leaning towards my adult years, he's able to kind of relate and guide me more in that phase of my life.
Correct.
But yeah, it was definitely hard growing up, feeling that like I couldn't talk to my dad because he just couldn't understand me.
Yeah. So what age, what at your age right now, what would you say a great father looks like? Describe a great father.
For me, a great father is someone who's emotionally intelligent, because I find that in just like our culture, I find it's just like it's a very taboo topic to talk about mental health and just having that open discussion on how we're feeling. And it's just always just kind of like life is life and we just go through it mentality. I don't think that's a healthy mentality, especially as a parent to Black children. I feel like, especially in like households where fathers are present, the children should be comfortable being able to talk to their mother or father about their mental health, about how they're feeling, about just life in general, and not feel like it's a taboo conversation, or they're not going to care, or they don't have that kind of emotional intelligence to understand. Because even if even if the parents don't feel like they have that emotional intelligence, the fact that they're willing and able to just listen to their child talk is more than enough, honestly.
Correct. Because we never gone through that.
Exactly.
And a lot of things are taboo. Lots. Lots. Like, I'm so glad that me and my families can sit down and talk about anything.
Yeah.
Sex, you name it, anything. Just anything. Because I normalize it.
Yeah.
Because when I was growing up,
Taboo.
ooh.
Especially in the churches.
Correct.
Especially we're in the church, and it's a very taboo conversation. Right?
And it should be,
And it
because
should
it's
be.
got an opposite effect. Speaking of taboo, what's uncomfortable or you wish your parents would, when it comes to taboo, what's certain things that, because you talk about mental health and just being more emotionally intelligent. So what is it for you that you wish dads or your dad would feel more comfortable like addressing?
Well, for the most part, I feel like for me, I'm able to have those conversations with my dad openly and willingly. So I don't really feel like, even for like mental health or any something in that field, I feel like I'm able to have those conversations. So I don't really say that anything taboo, like I wouldn't really put that.
Right, and you know what? That's really a good thing to say, because then that's why the connection is so strong. Because you have to remember, connection is everything. If but my thing is, when you're emotionally connecting with your kids, you don't have to worry about behavior at all. Zero. Nothing. Because it's a deeper sense. It's a deeper sense because, all you show up for yourself is all your kids gonna see all you showing up.
You said something earlier, and time has run out on us, and I
Oh my
wish
gosh,
we can
time's run out
continue
already?
this conversation.
Oh my
It's such a
gosh.
deep conversation, fatherhood and mentorship, and what it looks like. And we are here to continue the conversation. And Coach, what I learned from today's session is about being intentional. And
Correct.
if you want to foster a relationship with your spouse, with your children, you have to be intentional.
Correct.
You have to want it.
That's it.
And if you want it, it is there.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And if you guys need help in how to be intentional and how to build relationship, heal relationship, Coach Oliver is right here. Coach, how can we get a hold of you, sir?
I live on Instagram. So Oliver Levy, Coach Oliver Levy on Instagram. I live on Instagram. That's my second home.
Thank you, everyone. And thanks for tuning in to Level Up. And we look forward to see you guys next time on Level Up. God bless you. Have a wonderful evening.
Level up.
Level up.